Now, when you connect all your microphones, instruments, speakers, and monitors together, there are naturally going to be cables all over the place. If you're not careful, you, a band member, or a patron are going to trip over them and get hurt, or at least unplug something 10 minutes before the show and ruin everything. There has to be a simpler way, and there is. It's called the snake. One end of the snake consists of a box that contains the jacks for all of the inputs. They're all numbered. This box is located on the stage. The other end of the snake consists of all of the plugs for the inputs that you're going to connect to your mixer. They're numbered too, so they match the numbers on the box end. You then just match up the numbers on the plugs with the channel numbers on your mixer and everything stays organized. Both of the ends are spanned by a bundled cable housing all of the conductors required to connect each end. So the snake provides a nice, neat, safe alternative to separate cables, and the numbering helps you to avoid plugging your instruments into the wrong channels on the mixer. When you're running your cables across the floor, you should make every attempt not to run your signal cables from mics and instruments in close proximity or parallel with any computer cables or power cables. Here's why. There's an electromagnetic field generated around power cables. Since they use 110 volts AC current, the direction of the current in the wire switches direction at 60 times a second. It's this rapid changing of current direction that induces a current onto every metal object around it. Usually this doesn't matter much. Your belt buckle probably picks some of it up. A very low voltage signal cable like that of a microphone only carries about 1.6 millivolts. That's 1.6 thousandth of a volt. So if the shielding in the mic cable is not perfectly intact, you could see that it wouldn't take very much voltage being emanated from the power cable's electromagnetic field to induce noise into it. My experience is that cables get pinched, stepped on, run over, cut, and experience any number of traumas that make their shielding not 100% intact. Whenever possible, run your signal cables perpendicular to your power cables. Now I need you to pay attention here. There are some absolute no-nos when using a snake. Let me throw up a couple of diagrams to illustrate what I mean. You should never run powered cables of any kind through your snake. That also goes for speaker cables. In this diagram, the power amp is near the mixer and the speaker cables are run to the stage through the snake. That's bad. You'll probably melt your snake and may in fact injure someone. The correct way to get to the speakers is to locate the power amps on stage near the speakers and only run the unamplified signal from the mixer through the snake to the power amps that are on stage. That way you're only running XLR or unbalanced 1/4-inch connections through the snake.